The aim of today's video is to describe what is assumption log and how we can create this assumption log. Assumption log is an output from the develop project charter process. This is a dynamic document that is updated throughout the project life cycle. Assumptions are progressively elaborated throughout the project and eventually validate and no longer assumptions. According to PM book, we can say assumptions are factors on the planning process that are considered to be true, real, or certain without proof or demonstration. There are some constraints in every project. These constraints are also documented in this assumption log. Constraints are the limitation factor that affect the execution of the project. Typically, constraints include the predetermined budget or fixed milestone or deliverables will be the include in this assumption log. This assumption log contains the identifier, that is every assumption have to have a unique ID, that is the unique identifiers. Then we have to categorize this assumption. This assumption belongs to a risk, or this assumption belongs to deliverables. This assumption belongs to requirement. Based on that, we have to categorize the assumption. Then assumption or constraint, we have to describe this is what are the assumption and what are the constraint. Then responsible party, due date, action, status, and comment. Then what are the source of this assumption? Assumption can come from any document in the project. They can also be determined by the project team. Constraint may be documented in project charter and are determined by the customer, sponsor, or regulatory agencies. The assumption log provides information too. That means where we can use this assumption. When we are going to develop the requirement documentation, project scope statement, network diagram, duration estimation, project schedule, quality management plan, resource estimates, risk register, stakeholder engagement plan. These times we have to consider this assumption log. Then this assumption log should be aligned and consistent with the following document, that the project charter, issue log, and risk register. These are the elements should be in the assumption log. So the elements are ID, that is the identifier. Each and every entry of this assumption log should have an unique ID number, that is the identifier. Then we have to categorize this assumption or constraint. Assumption and constraint, the description of the assumption or constraint. Then responsible party, the person who is tasked for following up on the assumption to validate if it is true or not. Due date, the date by who is the assumption needed to be validated. Action, actions that are taken to validate the assumption. Status of the assumption, such as active, transfer, or close. So comment any additional information regarding the assumption or constraint. These are the field should be added in the assumption log. So assumption log is a live document during the life cycle of the project. As a project manager, we have to see this several times in the project. Thank you for watching this video. I think this video is informative for all of you. Again, thank you.